soon. Yeah. Alright. Welcome to the shop. Got myself the FMS F-16. Brand new plane. New mold. Not just a remake of an old version. They totally redid this plane. This is the 64mm 4S version. And they made it slightly larger. A lot of detailed stuff. As far as just upgrading, a lot of the FMS planes you've seen come out recently have a lot of really nice features and upgrades. This one, they have a rudder, which they didn't have before, and they have a pneumatic, not pneumatic, but spring-loaded front gear. The details are fantastic. I mean, the landing gears look great. Everything about this plane looks good. Assembly went pretty well. I'm going to go through, the unboxing, assembly, fly the heck out of it the best I can, and come back and report to, is it your kind of plane? And kind of explain what I think this plane is good for, and maybe some of the things it's not good at. So, hope you stick around. If you like what I'm doing, hit that like button. If you have a question, leave a comment. Thanks. All right, let's unbox. Real quickly, I'm going to go through, take a look at all the pieces and parts. So this is an entirely new mold from the 64mm, previous 64mm from FMS, F-16. Here you can see lights. You can see that it's got the quick connects for the arms or drop tanks or whatever else they're putting on here. We'll take a look at all that. Simple 9-gram digital servo. It looks like it's probably not metal geared. Foam looks good. It's unpainted. So they're not painting it. They're just painting the stripes on it, which is fine with me. You got these little guys, which slide in like so. So if they break, if they break off, you could either easily repair them or just fly it without them. Separate elevator servos. These will need to be glued in place from what it looks like. The rear fins, which also have the little quick connects, which I think are handy. Tail section here, which got some lights, again, new lights. Decals look good. And I think this whole thing's a decal. Yeah, this whole piece back here, all the white is a decal. Red's painted. Appears as though this will get glued in also. This is a slightly larger than the previous mold as well. So some of the things they commented on are better power supply. This is nice. Push button, positive catch there. Takes a 4S, 2400 to 2600. Decent straps, ventilation under here, which is nice. See, this is where the nose wheel will connect. We've got XT60 and a big pile of wires, which we'll have to sort through and get all that sorted off. Throttle and a reverse. So, got some reverse on that, which kind of be handy. LEDs on the wingtips also, as I kind of showed. And then we have the nose cone, which is a snap-in-place setup. So push it on and you're good to go. Lots of little parts that tend to get ripped off. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully I won't end up in the grass, because that's what's going to happen with some of these pieces, right? This is all plastic, foam, but this appears like it might, maybe it'll break off easy. That's assuming you land in the grass. Anyway, rear landing gears, actually from a look perspective, pretty good. I mean, it's plastic, but you know, they look good. They don't look like just chicken wires coming down. And the nose wheel, same thing. And it is got a little bit of a shock absorbing strut, which is kind of nice. So look forward to putting it all together and showing you that process, at least any of the gotchas that I see. That's a little wheel. It'll be fun. All right, the way that these go on, we're going to glue them. And we're going to use good old foam tack. Just opened up a new tube of it. So before we do that though, because what we're going to do is we're going to plug it in to here, tuck those wires in. I'm not exactly sure how that's supposed to go, but we'll figure it out as we go. First, I like to take my little pointy tweezers and poke holes in the foam. There isn't a spar or anything, so I'll make sure there's a spar in here, but not all the way through. You can see it right there, but not a through spar. So we're just gonna make sure we get that sorted. And I like to get a little alcohol and clean everything, at least where all the glue is going to go. What that does is removes all the mold release lubricant that they put on some of these things. If you ever use like double stick tape and you realize the tape just peels almost right off, well, it's because there's a little release agent on these things. We're going to make sure we put these on correctly, otherwise you're in trouble. I don't know. It's awfully long. Make sure that's in there good. This is going to go here. Route like so. I'll have to push that in. Kind of dry fitting it right now to make sure everything's going to work right. So that looks pretty good. So it's saying use medium CA for the glue. I tend to not like CA because it gets real brittle. So I like a little flexibility. Just that's my thing. You use, there's 15 different glues out there that'll do well for this. You choose the glue you like. So for me, it's foam tack in this particular case. What I'm going to do also, just to make sure I'm getting real good contact, I'm going to take one of my little brushes and make sure I brush it all over. So, nice coat. Place it on, lift it up, place it back down, lift it up again, and let that sit for just a minute. Could put on a pin or two. shove a straight pin in there just to clamp it in place a little bit. I want to look on the other side to make sure I don't have glue oozing out anywhere. That would look unsightly. So the foam tack does a pretty good job holding things in place. But for my entertainment, okay. Now I'm going to do the other side. All right, now I'm going to put on the rudder. Make sure those are connected well. So this says rudder and this says rudder. This has no tag on it. So I'm going to connect the lights to that. Now there's only 2 wires, black and red. That needs to go to the brown and red. All right, so that's in there correctly. And I'm trying to make sure I'm pushing all these pieces in where they need to go. So when I glue this down, it'll glue well. There's a lot of extra material here for the rudder. So I'm going to find the rudder cable. There it is. I'm pulling on it and it's moving in. That's a good thing. Now I have minimal amount of cables laying around. Now I apply the glue. Nothing wrong with that. All right. Then take my brush and just get it so it's well spread. And push it down and lift it up. Okay. That's smashed in. Make sure it's down properly, and you really double check to make sure it's seated all the way. That you don't have a problem with it not seating. Give it a critical look. I think I'm happy with that. Just test and make sure everything is working properly. Now it's a simple process of just sliding the carbon fiber spar in. Those are packed in there pretty good, so I'm gonna take these wires out carefully-ish. Come on, there you go. So you'll notice there are 2 plugs here. And there are 2 wires, one for the aileron servo and one for the lights. There are no labels on this. It doesn't matter, and I tested this with my servo tester, it doesn't matter which plug you put into which. That's what I have seen while testing it with the servo tester. So what that means is I can shove this in, just make sure you put them in properly with the proper wiring orientation. So meaning black to black or black to brown. All right, we're gonna finish up these wings, and like I said, same thing here, 2 plugs. 2 unlabeled plugs, and it doesn't matter. Obviously, after we plug all this together and screw it together, we'll test to make sure everything's working properly. I mean, clearly the plugs have to go in the correct way. Got that set, pushing those in. Get these wires pushed in. You kind of got to line things up when you're pushing it together to make sure you're not smashing anything too bad. You can see that wire's right there. I'm going to make sure that that gets kind of shoved in that cavity. So now when I close, let's see if this is lined up now. Yes. Landing gear kind of go into one way. Pretty simple. Get pushed in, and then you're going to have a couple screws. You'll notice on the wings and fuselage that there are attachment points for armaments. So this one is obviously a plane that won't have any armaments. Landing gear looks very good. Simply drops down right through here, and you can either take the screw off, the grub screw off, or tighten it in so it fits through the air intake. Tighten that in. There's a flat spot that it tightens around. Mine was all lined up. I didn't have to do anything too serious. All right. Right now I have a AR-631 in it. Haven't really done anything yet to it. I just plugged it in. I'm going to have to reset to default and do all that stuff for that, and then double check the gyro. Put the gains down pretty low. I'm not setting up any kind of flap-arounds or anything. I'm just going to set it up kind of stock, simple, right? At least that's the initial thought process. We'll see where we go from here. All right, all set up. Here are the settings for everything. I've got about maybe 12 flights on the thing, and I want to tune it a little bit more, but this kind of gives you a starting spot. We're ready to go. Low rates, no gyro. Let's go. She climbs up plenty quick. Bring her around. Seems like she's climbing a little. That's not bad. I'm going to click in the gyro around this turn here. I got AS3X set up on it. I did notice the gyro did help. As far as just, this isn't a lot of wind as well. So not the ideal conditions for a Maiden, but didn't have much time to do it. Little wind here. I'm going to give it full power and straight up.
Got 1 minute on the clock. So far, she's at least trimmed out. Let me try to do a couple landing approaches here. See if I can get her to land okay. I'm okay with the rates. Okay with the gyro so far. It's windy. No, go around. Nice to have a little nice to have a little reverse. Raining. And for 3 minutes, I'm gonna fly the heck out of this plane. Alright, let's get after it.
Pretty impressed with the power, just right off takeoff, straight up for quite a while. I did that a number of times, so the power system pulls pretty well.
Full speed pass. Well, she is nimble. She's a fun little plane.
I tried to get a speed-induced stall out of her. Couldn't do it. She just kept turning.
Take it easy on the battery here for a little bit. I've been just full throttle the whole time. See if I can get it, drop in and do a decent touch and go. Try to get a better landing this time, smoother. Ah. Starting to rain. Just really haven't had a lot of luck with good weather for flying this plane. Do a full speed pass. There's my battery warning. Let's bring her in. Alright, good rainy flight. Tighter loop. And she does. Much tighter loop. do some tighter turns at speed. Try to introduce a stall. She doesn't. Alright, well, kind of like mid-rate. It's got the mid-rate.
Welcome back to the shop. So, as you saw in the video, I put a lot of stuff in this video. The flight, the end part where I'm doing all different kind of maneuvers just to show it off, just to show the performance of what this thing can do. From a 4S plane, it performs pretty darn well. And it has the cool looks, right? There are smaller, lighter sport jet kind of planes out there. Nothing like this, nothing with all the details. Looks really like a great plane. Has all the bells and whistles that the new FMS planes have. And then on top of it, like I said, all the performance. Big loops, fast, it's super stable. I couldn't stall the darn thing. I mean, I'm just yanking up on the elevator. I'm going to test that. I'm going to give more and more elevator until I can make this thing do something dangerous. But really impressed with that. The high alpha, I got to work on that. I'm sure there's others that'll probably show that they can do it fantastic. I got to work on that. Really like being able to land this easy. If I shoot a little long, I got reverse and it functions pretty well. Downside, one, you might notice that the nose looks a little different on this video than it does on the intro video. That's because a little short on the runway, stubbed it, popped it off. Not a problem, glued back on. But if I really feel bad about it, I can just get a new one of these and I'm ready to roll. The other thing about the plane is it'll tip over if you take a turn too fast. Pretty stable. Compared to what I saw in the previous versions, it's significantly more stable. So there's that. Flight time, 3 minutes. It's pretty similar for a lot of other EDFs out there. Overall, really fun plane. I highly recommend it if you know how to fly faster planes. Would this be a first EDF? Maybe, maybe not. Don't know if I'd go down that far. But it is maybe a third type of plane. If you want to get into EDFs, it's low cost, it looks cool, and it's incredibly capable. If you're so inclined to get one of these, obviously I got a link in my description. Also got some discount codes, so if you want to save a couple bucks, that'd be great. Use those codes on any of the FMS planes, frankly. If you're not going to even get this one, it'll still work. If you have any questions, leave a comment. If you think I'm doing the right stuff with my videos, hit that like button. Appreciate it. Have a great day.